thinking, I don't even know what these other guys are going to share, but I was trying to think of a story and a deal, maybe a little funny story that would kind of a picture of what you've been in my life. But I couldn't think of one funny story. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, when I think about Mom, I think about the atmosphere that you created in our home. And you did that deliberately, the way the music you selected, the radio stations you listened to, the books you had around here, the baking of bread, the making of cookies, the atmosphere that you created, and the work that you did. And it's only been 6 years that I'm really beginning to appreciate the work that you did. And it was probably more then than now. But as I was thinking about these things and what it meant to me, as it happened, I read this article this week, and it seemingly had nothing to do with it. It was about holiness in a Christian's life and our obligations to God. And the author wrote about started out this story about Adam and how he put Adam in the garden. And I know it seems like I'm going left field here, but and Adam's duties and possibilities were all summed up in the words in keeper and guardian. And I was reading, it was interesting, and he went on from there. But as I was reading, it struck me that that's exactly what you were given. The keeper and the guardian of a bit of creation that God entrusted to you. And I'm so grateful that you were faithful to that you took it seriously in your service, in your love to us. It's extraordinary. So I guess, and I probably said thank you in different ways before, but thank you, Mom. It means a great deal to me and to my kids. So I guess that was what I wanted. I made a list. I don't even remember who's next. I'm pretty sure it's not on that list. Mark was the second one. So I guess you can share and I'll call on the next one.
All right. Well, I guess I was thinking, when I was, it's too far back for me to remember, but apparently, we didn't start out too well, Mom and I, because, following right after Alan, her favorite child, it was big shoes to fill. So, apparently about 6 weeks into it, Mom says, this just isn't working out. She was ready to take me back. But fortunately, we didn't have a return policy back then. So, but I got to spend a lot of time with Mom when the rest of you were at school, and so we made cream macaroni, and I got both the frosted kettle and the spoon quite a few times, and a lot of things like that. And I was thinking a lot of people remember where they were at when Kennedy was killed, and I was with Mom and Dad at a store. I don't remember which one, but I think it was. Yeah, just remember that day and the effect it had on both you guys. And I just remember playing Old Maid with you most every afternoon, it seemed, and it seemed like I think I got my competitiveness from Mom because she never wanted to lose. I would start getting ahead. She accused me of some infraction of it. I don't think she used that term, I guess, one of the things that, as I was looking for a card this year, I found this card, and I won't make it through this. But,
It's a nice card.
I knew I wouldn't make it through that.
Must have been a good one.
But it said, ever since I can remember, you were there for me. That's probably as far as I'll get with it. I know whenever we call out here, we expect to hear your voice, and you're just always there for us to support our kids and support our family. I just thank you for that. Thanks. I love you.
Becky.
Well, when I thought about what I would say, the first thing you probably know would come to mind. Yes, I think the time when we went in to get my marriage license was probably one of the funnest times, craziest times. But we went up to get the marriage license, and Mom was with me, and we stood in front of the court lady, and she had these Coke bottle glasses. Remember how big they were? And she looked so stern and so fierce, and Mom was standing there right beside me, and she told me to swear to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Raised my arm, and then we were filling out all of the details on that, and she asked me what Steve's mom's maiden name was, and I just drew a blank. And I knew it started with an S, and it was Slorby is what it was. But my roommate at the time was Storbeck, and so I said, I couldn't think of the Slorby thing, so I said Storbeck. And then as she was writing it down, I turned to Mom, and I went like that, and she started laughing. She always gave me away, and she just stood there, and that's quite right. And she laughed we just laughed all the way out of there.
Down to Hart Store.
Down the street laughing, and I think Dad came to pick us up, and we couldn't even walk, we were just laughing. But anyway, so the other night when we were sitting alongside the road, and you called, and immediately, as I said, I was getting a ticket, and I heard that laugh again. It was the same laugh. It was the same laugh. And I guess there's a lot of ways that I see myself as Mom, and I hope that laugh is exactly. Yes.
I have to read what I'm going to say. That's not true. Mom and I took our driver's test together. I didn't think of that until Becky brought that up.
We heard that this morning. You got a better score.
There was a difficult time in our family life, especially for me and for Mom, when I went away to the Army. It was a whole different experience for our whole family. And each of us, and I know all of you, were affected by that time dramatically. I have evidence of that in these hands here. Mom wrote to me just about every night. I could say every night, but that might not be true, so I'll say just about every night. And last night I went down this box of letters. There's letters from all of you. I mean, my family. Obviously from Cheryl. And I just reached in there in my section that's from Mom, which is a big section. And I pulled out 3 letters. And I thought this would capsulate, this happens to be March, between the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of 1970. But it's so interesting to listen to parts of these letters, and I made copies of them so they're bigger writing, because Mom's handwriting is never big, and I knew I wouldn't be able to read it. But she writes about each of you. And I thought about, it just shared the heart of Mom, It showed her faithfulness to us and how much she really cares about each of us. And I'm just going to read parts of these things. I just think it's good because we're just going to laugh a lot, but I think we'll also cry some together also. So, are these glasses? Whose are these?
Planted in there.
I read these by myself in the office this morning. I just sobbed. I mean, it was just terrible. But I think I'm okay now. Dear Mai, I wouldn't have time to write much. Boy, this is a good character. But just to start, it's 7 o'clock. In a few minutes, I have to get ready to dress everybody for YP. I assume that's young people's, right? What a day. Full to the rim. What a good day, except that you weren't here. Sometimes your mom gets pretty lonesome for you and wishes the next 8 or 9 weeks would fly by. Let's hope they would. Becky and Nancy came to spend the day. After church, now she's writing after young people's at 9:30, she's continuing her letter. While we're back, as I was saying, Becky and Nancy came with Carlson's from Fergus Falls. So we've had a full day. I got up early, got dinner table ready, and got the house in order, so when he came home, we could walk right in without having to get much done ahead. Get things picked up. You know how it is and how it goes. We ate dinner in style, in the dining room. Lace tablecloth, good dishes, etc. We'll do the same when you get home. We finally got the dishes done at 3:30 or so, but we sat around the table and visited quite a while. I'll skip ahead. Next Sunday, the string band comes. How about that? We tried to get them last year, but they weren't coming. Becky brought Ken's card. And you know what? It was exactly the same one you gave. You did that last year, too. What a coincidence. And then she goes on about that. We turned the calendar today, and Ken looked at it and said, 2 more pages, and Myron will be home. So we're all watching. Dad, this is really good. Dad went over to Grandpa and Grandma Larson's last night instead of going to church. Grandma got the flu, which Grandpa was sick. Grandma got the flu, which Grandpa was sick. Then she started to get better, and he got terrible cold. Now he was better, and she has stomach trouble. Most of the medicine he had didn't take was hard on her stomach. What happened to her before? We beat him home. Yes, he had pie and ice cream. Okay, we beat him home. Yes, he had pie and ice cream, naturally. He went over to chop wood for them, but he didn't even touch the axe. But I guess that's okay. You know these K's, meaning Kurt and Ken, they're always writing to you, but I can't begin to send them all to you. They stick them in envelopes and pretend they're sending them, but we just can't send all that. Okay, I better go and take off the milk before Big Don comes. Sure would be a haul around here if I didn't get the milk. We have to have Marky's eyes checked too. One of these days he's got so much headaches. Nurse says he needs them. Dad has a dental appointment. He's on his way to New Jersey. Guess I'll quit for now. We'll write to you again tonight. Love you, Mom. Dear Mai, we're listening to the game between Clarissa and Evansville. First game of the district. It's 36-33. And she keeps me posted all through the game. You know, I don't care much about either of those people. This is a good one. Kurt and Ken and I were just comparing tongues. Mine, of course, has a crack in it. Kurt kind of screwed up his face and said, all old people have tongues like that.
Sorry.
I said, Curdy, I'm not an old person. And we had a good laugh. Marky got his report card today. It was very good. He dropped from a B to a C+. And that was the lowest. Wednesday, the other two get theirs. Hope Snooks keeps his grades up. He can Ken, if he puts his mind to it. Kat has had pretty good grades, except in boys' history. Her bookkeeping test last Friday, she got an A.
Oh.
She's one of the top students in bookkeeping in shorthand. I think she's got it if she tries.
Thank you.
You fooled her. There's still hope, apparently. Ken is combing my hair. That's why my writing is so shaky. Now he's over here combing Dad's hair. And he's writing to you too. And I actually have, this is celebrating Mom, so I'm not going to read Dad's letter, but there's a letter at the same time that Dad sent in there, and that was really special. Then we had a new problem that arose. Prince is barking. I don't know what at, but he must hear something. He sleeps under the porch, just like the other dogs used to do. Kurt says he knows his job, and he does it well.
Prince?
Thanks for all your letters. You're sure good to write. Sounds like Grandpa Larson. We feel you know exactly what you're doing, and feel how low, and don't mind if you tell us. We don't like you have to go and do this. Let's see. We'll try hard to keep writing to you. All for now. We're fine. I'll write again tonight soon. Love, lots, Mom. And then the last one. Good morning, son. I failed, and I planned to write to you last night, but I was so beat I couldn't even keep my eyes open. So I'll write a note this morning, and then I'll write again tonight. I mean, just think about that. I mean, I think about our busy schedules, and there was all these kids she was taking care of, and all this stuff she was doing, and she was writing to me every day. I mean, Snook stayed home today. He's got a bad headache. I suppose he needs new glasses too. This was the week for glasses. Gets kind of expensive to get all these glasses. A person can't take chances with their eyes though. Mark was pretty happy this morning because he had plenty of potatoes left over for fried potatoes. He's just got to be the fried potato man. Right out of the... Prince, this is really fun. Prince and Nippy are fine. Prince is a beautiful dog. He sits out there by the house, ears perked, and really looks great. When he comes out in the morning, he jumps almost all over us. Ken really fights with him, but Kurt's a little shy of him. Ken has to protect him sometimes. Kurt's getting better though, but I think he was a little afraid of Prince. He's so big and rough. I don't see Nippy much. He stays in the barn most of the time. Of course, I never liked that dog very much. So he can stay there as much as he wants. Sorry about that, but I just never liked him. We lost one of our sows last night. The first one that had pigs. We had the vet out twice. Dad has given several shots. She won't come out of the shed to eat or anything. There's always been something wrong with her. She saved 9 pigs. The other 6 are real good eaters now. Dad's going to take about 25 into Long Perch on Thursday. Betty will ask more this week. We sure have a lot of pigs around here. Kat wrote you a long letter. I suppose you got all the information from school and basketball news. It would be fun to see her letter. Knowing her, it must be interesting. Well, today, Dad's going to see Dr. Jake today about his teeth. He couldn't get in yesterday. We're all fine. Today I must bake bread, cake, cookies, wash clothes. Won't be long before I'll have to wash your clothes, get them all nice and clean before you come home. That'll be fun. Must get busy. Tonight I'll try to get longer. Thank you so much. We commit you to the Lord every morning, so we know that you're well taken care of. Love, Mom. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure glad we didn't take Mark back.
I'll start with that. It's a relief.
And to think that we all protected him for so many years. When I think of I don't have any one particular story as such that comes to mind. I just think of the countless times, the many times of encouragement and support that you've given to every one of us. And it's not, you know, the really fun part is that it's not just us 7 kids. It's our spouses and our children, and you know, just the love and support, much like Kurt said, that you've shown each and every one of us. I just can't thank you enough for that. No matter what it is, you know, when we need something and need some advice, we know that you'll be quick to give it. You will have an opinion. And for that we thank you, and I just love that. I remember it was kind of interesting. There was just one story that comes to mind that happened when Mom and I went to St. Cloud when Arling Myrie was going to die. Remember that, Mom? For some reason, Dad couldn't go down there. I don't remember what that was. Oh, okay. So Dad had something going on. Mom and I went down to where we're without a pastor. So Mom and I went down to visit Arling Myrie, who was suffering from. He'd had a heart attack and he was near death in St. Cloud. So we had that nice trip down there, and we sat with Ruth and Arling for a long time and came back again. I'm quite sure you went down there just because you weren't sure how I'd handle it in the emergency room. Maybe or maybe not, I don't know. But that was a really special time, and we talked about that since how that was that hour trip down, an hour trip back, and all the time in between. That was a great time. 7 years ago, whatever it was. And he's still living, yes. He's still living. Yeah, we were there to give him last rites or whatever. But it worked, yeah. Continues to live. But like I started with, you know, thanks so much for being, you know, the definition of what a mother should be and is, and how you've taken care of us and shown us so much love and support and encouragement every step of the way. Thank you so much for it. We love you.
My turn? Oh boy. I don't know if I can keep up with my siblings. Mom and I have had lots of fun. We've laughed a lot. And she's really a lot of fun to go shopping with. We many times have gone shopping, and she ends up helping the other customers in the store instead of being with me. No, she's really fun. And I also really appreciate the when I call out here and hearing that sweet little voice on the other end of the phone. And it's so nice to know that she's there. And when I was thinking about this, I thought about, well, when I was 11, 12 years old, I don't even know, maybe 10 even, I don't know. Mom and I were cleaning the attic. I think I'm not going to make this. Mom and I were cleaning the attic, and I'd had such a hard time sleeping at night because I was afraid that Jesus was going to come and take everybody and leave me, because I knew that I was such a sinner. And so I was telling Mom that as we were cleaning the attic, and she stopped what she was doing, and she got the Bible out and she read to me about how much Jesus loves me and forgives, and she prayed with me. And that was kind of the beginning of my walk with the Lord. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so awesome. And I could sleep after that. It was just so neat. And So I'm really thankful for that. And then another time, I was really, well, after Ryan was born, and I was so excited to have this baby that I hopped and jumped around the hospital like I was foolish. Mom told me, you know, you need to rest. And I was just so excited. I just, you know. So the time came for me to go home from the hospital, and I was just feeling really, really blue. And we took Ryan home and I laid him on the couch, and I remember thinking, now what am I going to do with him? I mean, I had this baby I wanted so bad, and then I don't know what to do with him. I mean, and I sat down next to him and cried. And the next few days, I mean, I just couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat anything. And I was just exhausted. And so Pastor Balovic called Mom and said, you need to come. You need to come and take, you know, help. And so I remember sitting in the living room there with holding Ryan, and I heard the door open, and I heard Mom's voice, and I just knew everything was going to be okay. After that, she took care of Ryan, and she fed me all my favorite foods, and she patched Rodney's jeans. That was a great week, and I just loved it. It's a great memory. So thank you, Mom. I love you.
I'm pretty certain I'm not going to make it through any of it. Sorry. They've done so much for me, I don't know where to start. I wanted to say one thing that Mark said every time I call out here. I know you're always going to answer the phone. And every time I stop, I think there's been 2 times in my life you haven't been here. Don't know what I'm going to do when you're not here. The one thing that I remember the most is when I was in kindergarten, and when I listened to that record, I can't remember what record it was, but